Hi there, my name is Christina Jones and I am a brand photographer and content creator. And today we're going to talk about how to create a content strategy for your brand. You may be wondering why that's important, especially if you are selling a product or a service online, or maybe you are a content creator, an influencer, and you want to attract brands and do brand partnerships. A content strategy is important because it's going to really help you stay focused and accomplish your goals in a strategic way and really get the results you want. So if you are just kind of willy-nilly posting content on your social media or on your website, your blog, you may not get the same results as if you were really honing in on a specific strategy and topic and theme. So we're going to talk about different ways that you can create a content strategy for your brand. And I first want to say, it's ongoing, right? Like your content strategy is going to change as your goals change. So if you accomplish a specific goal, for example, if you are selling a product and you really want to drive sales to this product, once you've already sold that product, maybe you sell it out, what is the next step? What is the strategy? Or maybe your strategy didn't work and now you need to rework your plan. Having a strategy is going to allow you to sort of track those goals and track those results so you can make those adjustments. But if you don't have a strategy, how will you really know what to do next, what your next steps are? So let's get into it. Let's talk about why it's important to create a content strategy and how to go about getting started. So the first step is getting feedback from your audience. And that is, really figuring out what do they want to see, learn, or buy from you, or how can you support them? So it may be, maybe you have a small audience. Don't let that discourage you from getting feedback. Maybe you do a poll in your Instagram stories, or you send an email out to your email list, or maybe you've worked with a couple of clients and you want to find out what do they really enjoy about working with you. Maybe what are some areas of improvement and what kind of results did they get as a result of working with you. So you want to get that feedback and constantly ask for feedback. So maybe you send a feedback form. Maybe you do a poll. Maybe you directly ask. You could also reach out to folks you haven't worked with yet, and maybe they are doing something that is similar to what you want to do. You can ask them, hey, I really want to, offer this product or offer this service. Can you help me, or can I interview you and ask you some questions to really help me understand where those gaps are that I can fill with my area of expertise. So get that feedback when you post on social media. Ask those thought-provoking questions to really get that feedback. Now, if you feel like you're asking for feedback and you aren't really getting it, consider doing some type of incentivize your audience to give you that feedback. Sometimes we need a little bit of a push, not a push, but sometimes we need a little bit of encouragement or extra encouragement to really get that feedback. So maybe you offer, a $5 Starbucks gift card. Who doesn't want that? Or maybe you give them something for free that, you currently offer that's a paid offer. So just incentivize your audience to give you that feedback, and also ask on a regular basis. Don't just do it one time and then just forget about it and don't ask again. The more you ask, the more people are going to start to respond and give you that feedback. And then once you get the feedback, you want to, jot those responses down. So maybe create a spreadsheet or some type of working document, or where you can save that feedback, and that is like gold. That is solid gold, especially when you are creating a content strategy. Another way to get feedback from your audience is by listening. Really researching and listening to what people are talking about, what are some of their pain points. So even if they aren't telling you directly, you can go to some of either your competitors or larger brands, or you can Google search. There's so many resources where you can find out, like Quora, Quora.com is a great resource as well, because you can start to see some questions that people are asking around your area of expertise. Use that as a part of your content strategy, because if they have a question, someone else will. So do some listening, maybe some, folks you follow here on YouTube, and they are, sharing on a specific topic. There may be certain questions that their subscribers or people are commenting on their videos. That is a great way to get feedback as well, and to find out how you can fill in those gaps. So look at folks who have larger audiences and use some of the questions, comments, responses in their comments to spark those content ideas and add them to your strategy. Now, once you have that feedback, or you figure out what those pain points are for your target audience, it's time to now create a theme. I recommend creating one theme either for a week or for a month. It really depends on if you're launching something new or if you're just really getting that market research. But I recommend creating a theme and sticking to that for an extended period of time of content that's really going to solve your target audience's problem, right? So the way you want to create the content is you figure out what the problem is, how your product or service can solve it, and then you want to create those images, graphics, videos, and captions to support it. So hone in on what is the number one problem I'm going to solve for this week or for the month, and how can I create content around that problem in various ways that really helps with retention. It helps folks to really look to you to solve that problem and start to drive those conversions, whether it is engaging with your content, going to your website, buying your product, or investing in your service, or even just reaching out to you and getting more information from you. So that's why it's so important to know what your goals are, and then how you can solve your client's problem or your ideal client's problem, and how you can get them into your world so that you can help them. So the way that you can do that is to look through all the feedback and then answer the question. So you can write next to the question that you see or the pain point, you can jot down, this is how I will solve this problem, or this is how I can solve this problem. And then you want to kind of work backwards to how you can address those pain points in a way that's going to resonate with your target audience. Now, there's so many different ways that you can brainstorm and create your content. So we talked about graphics, photo, video, and there's so many different ways that you can create content that really resonates with your audience. But first, I want you to jot down or brainstorm different content ideas around your ideal client's problem. I personally like to use Google Sheets. It's accessible on my desktop, on my phone, on my laptop. So I personally like to use Google Sheets. There's so many tools out there like Airtable. Notion is really popular as well. But I like to use Google Sheets because it kind of works well with like Google Docs. So if I'm creating a blog post or creating something where I really need to just get all my ideas out, I can connect it or I can link it to a Google Doc, and I just like Google. So I recommend having a running list of ideas, and then look at what you've already added to that list and see where you can work those into your content strategy for that week or for that month, and then start to write your captions and create your content. Now, if you are shooting photos, I would definitely recommend, you could use your phone. I use my phone quite a bit. I also have a video on how I create content for my brand with my phone. You can use a DSLR, whatever you use to take your photos, but really you want to make sure whatever content you're creating with your phone or with your camera really tells the story of your brand and also connects with your audience. Video is also really a rising trend, especially on social media, even on websites now. I personally use Squarespace for my website, and they are starting to offer tools and features for adding video content. So the same, you can use your phone, or you can use a video camera, or you can, whatever you want to use to really create that video content that resonates with your audience. Just keep in the back of your mind while you're creating it, think about what is your target audience's pain points, what is something that you can do to either inspire, educate, or entertain them, and just keep doing it, and then you can track your results later. And the next one is graphics. I personally like to use Canva to create my graphics. It's such an amazing tool. It really has saved me a ton of time. I'm also not a graphic designer, so I love using Canva because it really allows me to be creative. There are tons of templates in there as well. You can also purchase templates from a third party and import them into Canva, but use Canva if you can. They have a free option and also the pro option. I personally have the pro option because there's so many features that just make life so much easier for me. But again, you want to make sure that whatever content you're creating, whether it's your graphics, your photos, your videos, that it really is cohesive. So you want to incorporate your brand colors and certain elements like patterns and things like that that align with your brand, but also connect with your ideal audience. Now, if you're not really sure what type of visuals you need to create, because you do need visuals, like even if you're creating a graphic with text, that is still a visual. You're going to have to choose a certain font. You're going to have to choose certain colors. So whatever it is, you want to draw inspiration. Now, that's not to copy. That's just to give you ideas on how you can create content that is going to align with your brand and attract your target audience. So you want to look for inspiration, and you can find that pretty much anywhere. Pinterest is really popular, Instagram, or TikTok, whatever platforms you're active on, both for consuming and sharing content. You can look in magazines. I love looking for inspiration in magazines. You can also look on certain websites that you visit. I personally love like the Every Girl and Refinery 29 and Pop Sugar and these like really cool lifestyle websites for women and entrepreneurs. But you really want to, draw inspiration and create a mood board. So I like to create a mood board on Pinterest. You can make a private mood board or public. And I like to just create, again, a running list of ideas. And then when I'm ready to create content around my theme, I can go back and look at what I've already have saved. And then if I need to add anything to it, I can start to do some research. So it's really important, especially if you are scrolling through, Instagram, for example, and you're like, oh, this photo really made me stop my scroll. Save that, because if it made you stop the scroll, it's going to make someone else. And again, you don't want to copy, but use that as inspiration to create your own content. Once you've created your plan, you've asked for feedback, you've drawn inspiration, you've started to create this content, now it's time to schedule it. And it's so important to schedule your content, because it's not only going to help you stay focused on your content strategy, but also help you stay consistent. And the more consistent you are, the more you can track your results, the more you can build trust with your audience when they know that you're going to, post content every week, or you're going to do certain things that they can expect on a regular basis. They're going to build trust, and they're going to want to reach out to you or ask you questions, or, just engage with your brand. So schedule your content, plan it out, and then schedule it. My favorite planner is Planoly. So you can schedule Instagram posts, reels, Pinterest pins as well if you are active on Pinterest. Later is another great tool. I've used Later in the past. Both tools have a calendar as well, so you can look and see what are some holidays coming up. So maybe you want to incorporate holidays in your content strategy. So you want to look at, what is coming up that you can create themes around and really promote your product or service. Or if you are wanting to partner with a brand, you can also reach out to them and say, hey, I know, Easter's coming up and I have this type of content planned and I would love to partner with you on this particular topic, featuring your product or something like that. So you want to know ahead of time what those holidays or seasons are coming up. There's also smaller holidays on social media. So, there's certain like hashtags that you could use to increase your reach. But I would definitely recommend using a scheduler to save you time. So especially on those days where things are like super busy, or you just have a lot going on mentally, or you just don't feel like posting that day or coming up with an idea that day, when you schedule out your content, you already have it ready to go. So you can just post it and all you have to do is engage with your audience and keep it moving. So I hope that was helpful. I hope this really gets you those gears going on how to create a content strategy for your brand. If you have any questions or you want to chat more, just leave a comment below and I would love to talk with you more about it. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't yet, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I'll be sharing more tips on brand photography and marketing strategy and content strategy. But thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.